What's up, everybody? We got a new video for you today at the Wallace Farm and Sawmill with the new Sawmill. I want to go over a few of the features for you guys and talk to you about a lot of the comments that I've got in our first video when I introduced the new Sawmill to you. And so let's go over it. Let's get into this, guys. Miss Brittany is going to take over the camera for just a moment while I go over a few features, and then we're going to get into some sawmilling over here. So I wanted to show you guys that we got her out yesterday and we sawed for 5 hours and we got the hang of the sawmill. You can see this sawdust we have amassed in this time frame. We got to move this out of the way and do it again. But I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the features. So I'm going to move a couple scoops of dust here, and then we're going to walk around and point out some of the differences between this sawmill and our previous LT40. The main reason and feature that is within this LT40 and difference between our last LT40, I was having a lot of trouble with all the dust and following behind the head. It was not the walking. The walking is no problem, because just walking back and forth is, I don't know how to quantify it, but for me it was of no issue. The issue was being on the dust and the dust coming out just wasn't my thing. I mean, some people, they don't mind it. Some people throw a respirator on their head and walk right behind it. I mean, it's all a preference thing. I prefer to stand still and sawmill because probably the majority of my sawmilling expertise, well, I should say, the majority of my sawing has been done stationary. Okay, and the reason I say that, I have my circle sawmill, which is a stationary position of sending the carriage back and forth. This is a carriage, it goes back and forth here as well. And we also have in the past owned other stationary sawmills. And in between, we've owned a few manual mills and we've owned a few walk-along hydraulic mills. I prefer the stationary setting. So, as you can see here, we have the same controls down here as we had on our previous mill. The difference is, you can look right now and see that the head is leaving, or rather traveling down its path of cutting, and I'm not behind it. I don't have to walk and imagine the difference in the amount of dust that is going on and happening down there and me being way over here. Also, when you return the head backwards, when you're walking backwards, a man can only walk so fast backwards before tripping up or something like that. When you have this, this is how fast we can come back. All the speed is got, all the way. And then you can set up another cut and go again. So speed is also, you know, an upgrade in that sense in reversing.
Another key feature of this sawmill is our new debarker. This allows us to cut a line in our log before our saw blade ever touches it. So that in return has definitely helped us with saw blade life. Another key feature are these two backstops right here. If you remember, on our other sawmill, these were actually manual and we had to put them up ourselves. But on this sawmill, all 4 backstops come up at one time, which is very helpful.
So these seemingly small features to some are actually quite considerably better, or more like they're improvements to us. The stationary feature also allows us, or me rather, to stand still, and on the cutting side, when Miss Brittany here is cutting up cut stock, I'm actually able to let the head travel and do its thing and step around and throw some slabs in the slab pile. And
now I get some help.
Yes, because I don't have to be at the other end of the sawmill walking away from her doing that job. So that's also been a help.
And you might have noticed that we do not have the drag back feature on this one. Why is that?
The reason we do not have the drag back feature is, unfortunately, the drag back feature on the other sawmill only worked for us because I was walking beside the sawmill. You see, when you're cutting 2x4s, which is 90% of what we do cutting pallet stock on this sawmill, if you cut multiples at a time, so 1, 2, 3 wide, you know, more than one wide, if you use the drag back without setting your hand on the drag back as you walk backwards with the lumber tends to fall off or go to the sides. With this sawmill being stationary, the drag back feature would not be as helpful. Now, occasionally, when we were cutting custom orders, the drag back feature might be useful, which is why in the future we may add that feature back. But there's benefits to it not being there, and there's benefits to having one. As for us right now, we don't have one.
We can actually cut a deeper cut without the drag back being there as well.
True, that was actually very insightful. Without the drag back being in the throat, you can actually drop the head down lower for a deeper cut. Like say, for example, I don't have the measurements, but if with the drag back feature you could only drop 7 inches, without the drag back feature you can drop an additional 2-3 inches. So you could even cut deeper cuts.
And now we can get more 2x4s before we have to remove them from the sawmill bed.
Bingo. Now that we've told you guys about the upgrades that this sawmill has that our other one did not have, we're going to move a little bit of sawdust, and then we're going to throw one of these logs on here and do some real-time sawing. I want to show you guys how fast this mill is when it's properly set up. Let's get to it.
Now that that's all cleaned up, let's get this log on the sawmill and let's get to sawing.
Check out these pretty boards right off the sawmill. Straight to the chop saw. And straight to Miss Brittany. Making you a stack over here?
Yep, 10 high.
As you guys could tell there, the sawmill cuts really fast. And yeah, I mean, stationary will definitely make a lazy person out of you, I guess, if you're used to walking. But let's just be completely honest. It's nice not to have to walk behind the sawmill, but that's about 10 feet. I mean, even if you do that 150 times a day, it take a long time to walk very far, so it's not really the problem. The problem with the sawdust head back and forth was the sawdust, especially in some species of wood. Like some of my commenters had noticed, I'd made some complaints a while back. Me and poplar don't get along. No, I don't have to be right on top of poplar when I saw it.
You don't have to walk through the sawdust?
Yeah, you don't have to walk through the sawdust. Less tripping hazards.
Yes.
So there's that. And even when I cut poplar on the stationary setup, I'm still going to wear a mask because it makes my nose feel not good. Not going to do that. As you guys can see, we are back into chopping the pallet wood, which we are very happy about. Now, I know we do have an edger right over here, but we want to show you guys how you can also use your stationary mill for doing your edgings as well. So, might as well show you that. And it just kind of shows the process that it can completely take care of everything. Now that kind of shows you guys the complete process that it can do everything you need. And there's our pallet wood right there. Got ice on the boards. We're up and at it early this morning doing a little pallet cut stock strapping. There we go. We've recently oiled that, so it's working a little bit better.
Get myself a little room. Yeah, it works a lot better after you oiled it.
It draws them up tight.
I like these short packs, I don't have to climb up on top of them.
Yeah, I know, you can get right over these. Got it. One down, one to go.
The LT40 has been working hard these past few days. We got 4 packs cut. So 3 are already on the trailer and he's picking up the last one now. Now that we got all the pallets loaded on the trailer, let's get them strapped down so we can head out to the pallet company.
Okay guys, we took you through the process. We made up a couple of pallets. We got them delivered. The new Sawmill is doing its thing. I'm getting a call, but we will get that in a moment. We're gonna finish up this video. And we got the new Sawmill back in operation, which is absolutely incredible. We love the way that this is gonna work out. We're gonna work out some kinks to get everything set where we want it set. I think we explained most of everything. If there's anything you guys want to know about the new mill, the operation, the setup, or you got any tips, comment down below and let us know. We are over at the green patch because I have a good buddy, and the guy that comes and gets sawdust from him all the time is sending his son Austin over here, who's been on our channel. And Austin's coming to get some greens. I guess they're going to cook some greens for Christmas. So we should have video dropping on Christmas. If we don't, Merry Christmas. And just getting that out there ahead of time. What you want to add, Miss Brittany?
Just don't forget to check out our Patreon page and our Instagram. We've been trying to upload a little bit more there over on Instagram, but Patreon, I try to upload something at least every day. Try to.
All right, that's got everything covered. If you got any questions, comment below. That's going to do it. Till next time.
See ya.
Bam.